evening. Om Shanti. It's my joy and honor to welcome you everyone here and being this part of the Thursday night session. So today we have a wonderful topic, which is freedom and transformation. These not just two words, freedom and transformation, but let's together we're going to experience it. How do we day to day life, these two words give us meaning to use in our life, in a practical life, and how to detach this life. So I'm not going to waste much time, so I'm going to introduce my sweet speaker. The one is the speaker is the Sister Louise. I'm going to invite the Sister Louise. The Sister Louise is okay. Sister Louise is a retired teacher of high school English. Louise has been a student of Raj Yoga meditation for more than 9 years. She enjoys participating in a variety of Brahma Kumaris outreach programs and loves emceeing the weekly Thursday evening insight session at Harmony House. Today I took that her job. And she's especially grateful for the impact her spiritual studies has had on her personal growth and her relationship. That's wonderful, sister. And my next speaker is Sister Neeru. She has been a student at Global Harmony House studying Raj Yoga meditation for over 4 years. She is currently working as IT Assistant Director at Stony Brook University. She studies and incorporates in the jewels of this knowledge for inner peace, happiness, strength, and decision making in professional and personal life situation. That's a wonderful and it's perfect match to the today's topic. And let's see how you're going to explore. So these are our yes. So, as I said, the wonderful topic, the freedom is not just from the outer limitations, but it from our inner noises, habits, fears, or any bondages which frees us. The someone says beautifully, the freedom means the power to act by soul guidance, not by the compulsion of desires and habits. Obeying ego leads to bondages. Obeying soul brings liberation. That's a beautiful give the whole message how we liberated. When we being as a truth, we are liberated from all the bondages. So I'm not going to waste the more time. So we will begin by hearing our sweet speakers and who will share their reflection on this theme. Our theme is the freedom and transformation. So my first question to you, Sister Louise, is what does freedom means to you? What does freedom means to you? Would you please light on this one?
A small question, right? Well, first of all, I want to also welcome everybody, and it's always interesting to sit in this seat instead of with you. And thank you for coming this evening. What does freedom mean to me? Well, I have to tell you that the quote, the beautiful quote that you mentioned, talks about bondage. And to me, bondage is the opposite of freedom. Freedom has a lot of meanings in this country, especially these days. A lot of people view freedom as something we have lost. And I'm very happy to be a student at Brahma Kumari's. Excuse me. What do you? Oh, that was. Yeah. How do I help you? Blank. Center. that better? Can you hear me? Try again?
Yeah.
Freedom from the bondage of the microphone. Okay. So apparently, obviously, we feel as though we may be losing some freedoms in this country, that we are powerless over many, many things, people in power to preserve perhaps our democracy. And many of us are frightened by that. So as I started to say, we're whistling again. Is it all right? As I started to say, the bondage that was mentioned in the quote, to me, has a lot to do with who I was before I became a student here 9 years ago. And that has to do with freedom from something that isn't outside, something that is within me. And if you come here every week, you probably know what I'm going to say. The freedom is inner peace and inner power, despite what's going on in the world, despite what's going on at my kitchen table, despite what's going on professionally. I always have a choice to reclaim my freedom to be peaceful. We've talked a lot about that on Thursday evenings, and I think that the more I talk about it, the more I do it. The more I do it, the more I create peace for other people. So where do I find that freedom? That freedom is freedom from my ego, which I used to falsely identify as me. My ego wants to take care of me. It wants me to maybe overeat. It wants me to be right all the time. It wants me to have that arrogant, opinionated voice that I used to have, and I hope I have much less of these days, having studied here and having met all of you on Thursday evenings. So I think that for me, it's freedom from the bondage of self. And I guess we'll get into more of that later. I don't want to take up too much time. Okay?
Thank you. Thank you. Mr.
Okay.
Denise. Yes, I liked your point. You said reclaim my freedom to my peace. And this is the beauty of how we live in day-to-day life. And it,
Yeah. And a spiritual practice.
yes, it's a bondage of the, means free from the
Yeah.
bondage of the self.
And
That's,
I am not my body. I am a soul who is temporarily in this body. And my soul remembers a time of peace.
thank you.
Thank
Thank you, sister. So now, Sister Neeru, this same question to you. What is freedom? Means inner freedom means to you?
We all have, our birth, our very birth is an indicative of freedom. All the mammals, all the human beings coming from a mother's womb, that's nothing but freedom, right? All the eggs hatching, the birds, the chickens, they're hatching from the eggs, freedom. So that's basically our essence, as Sister Louise was touching on that. There are these external things that we have desires, needs, our wants. We want to have the freedom to express, freedom to speak. Before coming into knowledge, this is what I attributed my freedom to. If I can fulfill my desires, if I can fulfill my needs, if I can have a voice, I can express freely, that's what I considered as a freedom. And when I was growing up, I saw my mother, who was married at a very young age of 16. And my father was 10 years older to her. And there, this girl who had the world, the dreams in her eyes to go to college, she was extremely good at sports, to get more medals in sports, is married to a person so mature. And guess what? It was a totally different life. She totally lost her freedom to go to school, to carry on her college. And the fact that she was not working, because my dad did very, very well, And that's where he was providing the security. She felt the security is coming from there, the comfort. She totally lost her voice to even express her desires, what she wanted, what she really, she has an opinion, she has a say in life, how she wants to lead the life. He had business where he was constantly traveling from one state to another state, 1 year to second year of 3 years. There was no place, one place that he was. She could not even stop that part. She wanted to feel settled, but she could not. So I grew up seeing that suppression where there was no freedom that she felt. So when I was growing up, I felt I want to be a woman who's not suppressed, who has the freedom that I saw my mother. My dad was a wonderful person. He gave all the comforts and everything in life, but the basic essence of a human being where they can have, they can express, they can share their wants, their desires, how they want to live their life, but entrusting to somebody else who's of a power, because from where I come from, men,
Culture.
they were kind of leading. So that is what I saw. And that's how I said, I'm not going to be that. But coming into knowledge, it was not about that. So I kind of felt very fortunate that I was at a place that I would not be suppressed. I would express. But now realizing freedom is more to that. It's not about wants, desires, needs, external stuff. It's more about seeing, am I free from what I'm holding in my mind? As Sister Rupa was saying, what's going on in my mind? There's so much stuff that I'm carrying. Am I able to separate myself from the thoughts and the habits and the personality and the kind of sometimes the anger, the emotions, the overflow of emotions triggered based on situation and people? Am I at the bondage of that, or am I free to separate myself and step back and be in my truth than be carried away by those emotions, anger, attachment, ego, any of that stuff? So for me, working, realizing that I am separate, I am not this emotion, I am not this image, I'm not this pain that I'm attributing myself to. I'm different, I'm separate. We'll touch more on that as we progress in the evening. But for me to have that separation and being detached observer of what's happening in my mind, what it's creating, an ability to live happily and feel powerful, as you said, feel powerful in the midst of chaos, feel more in control while I see others not in control around me. That is freedom.
Thank you, Sister Neeru. And I just recall my mother's same story. She was 14 years old and father 10 years older than my mom. And she was very intelligent and a scholarship holder student. But our end is she got married and children. She just lost, as you said, she lost her voice of the freedom to say because she just bondages with the children, love, attachment, everything. Your mother had the freedom, but did nobody.
Wait, we need a mic on you and we're going to save questions for later, okay? Thank
No,
you.
you're
Thank-
right.
Thank you.
You
They
can talk
can't
more.
hear on Zoom. Yeah. Is that okay?
Sure.
Yeah.
Because we want the people in the Zoom to
We
hear
have
you.
many guests that are invisible. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why I loved about it, this one, as you said, and I noticed my mom, it's not only the freedom, as you're saying, she doesn't know how to use the freedom because they have that time, they have not capability and availability to use the freedom because they are just like grow in the joint families. So they have to take care of the family, they have a bondages of the children, now raising the children. So this just like their wings are cutted, they cannot fly. So this is one, and the other one, as sister you mentioned, is the express, because they just grow in this life. So they, yes, they go end up into the suppression. The suppression leads to the depression, even though they express, but there are two ways of the expression.
Yeah.
One express, they express harshly, so they just get frustrated to each and everyone's. And the other expression is in what stage, in what awareness they are expressing. So if you touch on both in one point,
Right.
how do we express and express in what way? Because there are many ways of the expression. Some express just like if you say something and harshly give you, rudely answer you, I express because something I don't want to keep inside. I want to get it out. But this is not a true being.
Right. So in my case, what I saw, and there was very recent interaction also, so I can talk about what I saw in my mother. Extremely lovely and the sweetest person. She did not have the strength to fight back because there were different personalities. He was a type A personality, was aggressive and go-getter, short-tempered, angry. So that was his part that I realize now. And on the other hand, she was the sweetest person coming from a family where they just knew to be happy, loving, and relaxing, and very respectful. So she had like opposite ends meeting here. So I saw her when, for the longest time, I never saw her express. She was holding the pain. As you said, that pain led to depression and a lot of sickness and ailments, which I saw her.
Yeah.
Because I could see that she was, and later in life, when she was recognizing how much she felt she was carrying a burden, which we're going to talk more, felt like she was carrying all the burden and she didn't have that freedom and all these ailments that came. And then later she would get triggered. That she became louder than that she ever was, and she started, as you said, even she became to the point at the very end, very towards the end of her life, that she literally talked
So-
exactly the same way like my dad did. It was like a
that's I'm
payback
coming to
time.
So,
just-
Sister Louise, so what about
Yeah,
your
We're
express?
talking about different cultures too. I know that a lot of our audience, you come from the same background and culture. I come from a totally different culture, but
A
the
lot of
person,
cultural and beliefs, yeah.
but the inner work that I've had to do comes from childhood, where you don't have a choice but to think, I'll speak for myself, I had no choice but to believe that my parents were gods
Mhm.
and whatever they said was the truth. And when things did not jibe in my head, I became very confused and anxious. It's very, very difficult to take all of these burdens and turn them into things that are quiet in you as you grow up and go through the stages of life. So most of the battle for me in this more advanced culture and all this
Yeah, you are right,
melting pot
sister.
stuff, most of my burdens came from my inner turmoil. And I know we're talking about that. And it's very, very hard to claim your freedom unless you establish an inner peace. And how do we do it here? We'll talk more later. We keep saying that. But what we do is go inward with meditation, with yoga, which is connection with God, with a higher power, with just a higher self, no matter where you're coming from, what culture. The idea of finding that peace within yourself that we believe the soul knows exists has always been buried by lifetimes of difficulties, and especially this one. But in any relationship, I have choices. I can turn off the news. And if someone asks me to dance, I don't have to say yes. If someone invites me into a quarrel, if someone is misbehaving, I don't have to participate. And we'll talk more about that later.
Yeah, the
Okay.
same question. Next question is almost the same, just like you guys talking about. So the second question is, Sister Louise, to you. What obstacles do one face in attaining freedom?
Yeah, I guess we kind of touched on that. But the greatest obstacle is the learned behavior from childhood. It's not my innate nature. But let's just bring it up to being an adult in a world where you're in relationship all the time. The obstacles are people don't agree with you. or people don't like what you say, or people don't respect you, and not everyone has to like me. And so what do you do when someone else is embarrassing you, or what do you do when someone else is robbing you of your freedom to be the pure person you would like to be in that moment? So I know that Sister Nira mentioned the word detachment before. I'm very big on detachment, which I learned here. You see this front row? If I'm in dialogue with someone, I remove myself from the stage and I sit there and I watch the scene. That means I maintain my inner peace and I'm not joining in the scene that's going on the stage. Now, of course, the stage is invisible, but if I'm sitting there, you come out of a movie, it made you cry. Are you still crying when you go home to your family? Ah, you leave it on the stage. Does Hamlet wear his Hamlet ruff and his clothing on the stage? No. What does he do? He takes it off, puts on whatever, jeans and a t-shirt, and goes home and plays with his kids until the next show. It's a show. If I can do that, I'm free. If I can't do that, I become the player on the stage. And then I'm open for anyone or anything to react rather than sit there and quietly think about it and respond. And that's the secret of my life. The past few years, I do this. It's not something I preach. It's not something, but it's something I share with people who ask. And you're here tonight because you're looking for that kind of freedom. So the obstacles are only obstacles if you choose to get into the boxing ring and fight for your rights, or fight for your country, or fight for, I'm not saying you shouldn't be patriotic, but you don't have to fight every battle that comes your way. You can maintain your peace.
Thank you, Sister Louise. It was wonderful. I learned two things from you: no expectation and detached observer. So, where is no expectation means half you reach to the journey of the freedom. Because when I expect from someone, I have to means there's something I'm holding inside, something is fulfilled, something is accomplished. When it won't fulfill, obviously there is a chaos in the mind is started. So this is a good thing, no expectation and be just detached observer. So same question, Sister Neeru, goes to you. What obstacles do one's face in attaining freedom?
So the way I have seen in my journey, and especially coming in this knowledge also, because first I was not even introspective, but this educated me to be more introverted than extroverted, how I was before. And I'm realizing this more and more, that there are these three things that we carry like a brick. It's so heavy: bondages, blockages, and burden. So these bondages is nothing, but we are the one, we create that while we're in relationship. We play so many roles: as a mother, as a daughter, as a colleague, as a friend, as sister, mother, all that stuff that I play. What am I doing in this process of all these relationships? Trying to please them, make them happy, taking care of them. And every action I'm doing, how the world works is seeing it. I have done something, they should do it for me also. Simple thing at work. They are doing work and they expect rewarded, some goals and some more bonus they should be getting. So it's basically, there's a bondage of action that you're doing. You're doing something, so you have expectations somebody else will do that for me. That takes us in this loop of where we are. There's always sorrow and there's dependency on that relationship. Especially when people pass away, that soul leaves the body. Who are we crying for? We're crying because we'll miss them, because we're dependent on something, on them for something. So something I realized, that this realization of this bondage, which takes away our freedom. And second thing that is the burden. When we are fulfilling these relationships, the roles and the responsibilities which we play, we carry the burden of we have to fulfill this, we have to do the best. We shouldn't have any disappointment. Am I doing it right? Even at work, unrealistic timelines, deadlines, something needs to be done, targets need to be met. I feel that take that burden. Literally, sometimes I would feel, oh my God, it's so much work. How will it be done? And you can feel that in your heart. You can feel it, how the body, the sensations change. But then you have to keep realizing back and stepping back to see nothing I'm doing. Everything is just happening. I'm just doing it for namesake. So I have to kind of go back to my truth. I have to make it lighter and step away from that. And then what comes is the blockage, which we touched on a little bit.
But
When
how
we are-
you differentiate the bondage and blockage?
So the blockage is what I've noticed is, like in the example I was giving before, when we are suppressing our likes, our dislikes, we're not expressing. And we go in that stage, we're carrying that pain, we're carrying the hurt. If somebody said something, you couldn't take, and you're not clean with that person, you're holding the situation, you're holding the incident, and you're creating pain, which is over years and years. There are people who live with that pain. That pain becomes a blockage. And if somebody went through child abuse or somebody was cheated, there's a blockage. They don't trust anymore. That's the blockage. They lose trust. They don't know if they'll be cheated again. That creates a blockage. So these are the things that become so heavy, it leads to a third B, which is like a brick. When there's that heaviness, you cannot fly. There's no freedom. And just like you don't see a bird flying with branches, it just flies with a twig, a little thing to keep it light. Angels don't fly with heavy stuff around them.
Mhm.
So for the soul to feel that lightness, there has to be freedom from the burden, the blockage, and the bondage that we create. And it's not something external, it's all in the mind. It's all in the mind. So these are some of the obstacles.
Yeah,
that I've
that's a good
experienced.
on the blockage and burden. Would you please light on what is the difference between for you, blockage and bondage?
Oh, I just wanted to say, you mentioned expectations, and it's a revolving door because you expect from people also, and then you're disappointed.
Exactly.
It goes two ways, right?
Because
Now,
you
yeah.
do the action and you're expecting the same act had to happen through you, but
Right.
now you're expecting somebody to do that in
Yeah.
return.
And it can stop me. I used to be that way so much. It stops me from taking in what the other person has to offer. So it definitely blocks communication. It blocks real love of
Mhm.
another person. I'm not
Mhm.
talking physical, but loving someone enough to listen to them. I was a horrible listener and riddled with anxiety when I was younger. A bit of a traumatic beginning to my life. And I can't tell you how grateful I am to be sitting up here on Thursdays and just be part of this family.
Wonderful.
Yeah. So
Wonderful.
whatever
Yeah,
you're
this is a good
touching on.
point you brought it, the blockage. Yes. Because the other aspect of the spirituality, because we unable to recognize our truth and our peace. The peace is within me, not because all the years we looking the peace outside. Give me this, I need this, I need this, just like being a beggar whole life, looking for outside, wanting outside, fulfilling the desire, which was endless. But through this understanding of this spirituality, it is giving everything is within you. What are you looking for outside? The ones I know this blockage was unclogged, then I really knows my truth and feel the freedom, experience the freedom. And that's vibration is spread all over. So this is,
Yeah.
I take away from you guys.
But if you're looking for your freedom in the eyes of someone else, it's back to what you were talking about. people pleasing, trying to be liked by everybody, whatever the game is.
And at the end, I've seen that you cannot please anyone.
No.
You just can't.
Yeah.
You can't be just like people, because at the end, when you're pleasing others, you're giving somebody a backseat, and that's you. For the most part, I've seen that.
Yeah.
Before we leave the obstacles, I just want to say.
Yeah, sure.
something. My greatest defense when obstacles happen is to really believe that everything that happens in my life is karmically correct, is correct. And once I believe that, then I'm not any longer a victim of whatever I am perceiving as an obstacle. Does that make sense? So I turn it into a learning experience. And it's not like I'm saying it on the stage and then I'm going to walk down there and not do it anymore. I do it as often as I can. And it becomes, we're rewiring the neurological patterns in our brain. When we have habits we'd like to change, we now know so much about neuroscience. And we talk about it here, and we've had experts here talk about it. And it's incredible how I can stop myself from reacting. I did when I was 20, I had panic attacks. I said past tense because I have the power to not let that escalate ever, even if it triggers an old memory.
So you are the powerful example. And just like as I explained it, that you have a panic attack and how you overcome your panic attack through this knowledge. This is a wonderful. So now we talk about a lot of the freedom. Now we're moving to the transformation.
How do you do?
So being in the present transformation for when I got this topic and I was reflecting on is that being in the present is a true transformation.
Mm.
Because when I live in the now, I myself free from the worry of the past, free from the future's assumptions or taking any things. So this is just like I'm just complete free from the weight of the past and worry of the future. So in this still moment, I return to my original truth, my original peace, love, all those beautiful qualities. I return to my original. So this is good for me, the transformation. Be at now, be at present. And it's very difficult for right now, it's very difficult to stay in the present. So this is where soul breathe and when the transformation begins. So the question goes to you, Sister Niru. Can you share your insight or practice with respect to your journey of transformation? So you share your practice, how you practice and attain your transformation.
So this journey, it's not like it happens in a second. It's slow and steady, because you're dealing with your old habits, your patterns, which we call up the way we have to behave. There's so many things that surfaces. As Sister was mentioning, we are reprogramming. Situations will be there. People will still be the same. Everything is still out there. But what a switch, a change comes by studying when you are trying to absorb a new way of thinking, a new way of looking. You're just changing the perspective. It's not the situations will change, what is changed, but the angle of looking at the thing changes. So for example, these burden blockages and bondages that we have. What have I done to overcome? What am I doing right now so that I'm able to handle that better? One of the things is like, as Sister was also mentioning, that being in the now, knowing who am I? I'm not this body, I'm not this person, I'm not this role. I'm a soul, I'm a being. I'm just nothing but a pure being. And the understanding, it's not that you always experience it. You knowing that you are peace. You are the powerful one. You are the happy one. You are the one with all the knowledge and the power, and everything is within you. Even if you don't experience, but having that knowing and being in that I am. So I am includes all these qualities, and everything else that happens is a passing experience. If you're sad, if you're angry, if you're annoyed, I am annoyed. So annoyed is a passing experience, it does not become you. So if I'm sad, I am remains the same, which is the peace and the love. Sad is an experience. So separating myself from the emotions, the sensations, the feelings, or the inner stories is what I'm working on right now. Knowing what I am, who do I really belong to, and knowing my powers. And having that understanding with these bondages, I keep reminding myself because it's very easy to go back into the habit, seeing all these relationships that I'm in. I'm God's trustee. They don't belong to me because I own them. My children, my house, my this, my that. And with that my, you're stuck. I have to remind myself I'm a trustee. I'm here to serve them. And I can only serve if I'm not begging them. I have to just give, but take only from one. Take only from one who has unconditional love, unconditional mercy, unconditional forgiveness, unconditional, always constant, always there. There's only one, which is the higher power, right? God. So that removes, so knowing that I have relationship with one and all others as a trustee, I'm playing that role and I'm here to serve. I have to reset myself to not get into the bondage.
Absolutely.
And when there's a burden or when there's that blockage, I have to get into that deep realization again and again. I am that power. I am that peace. Why am I having this pain? So it's a practice. You have to get into that space, which we can do that maybe towards, I don't know, Sister Anjani will be doing the meditation, or I can do the meditation towards then, where we can step back. So the practice that I am doing is, if you want, we can do for a few minutes now,
No, let's move on.
is like stepping back. Your mind is nothing but like a screen. It's a screen of images. It's a screen which is holding emotions, sensations, pain of your body. It's holding stories of the people. Separate yourself from the screen and get into the depth, deeper and deeper, stepping away where you don't hear the clutter and you can feel and touch your silence. So that's the meditation. I hope we can do that at the end. Like, I want to take you through that experience where you can really feel and touch your power, your silence, the quietness, from which place you come from when you're coming into action. And in that place, there is a clarity that I don't have a story. I don't have emotions. I have no feelings because I am just a point of light, a soul. All these stories, all the relationship, all the people, everything is tied to this body, not me. And I'm wearing this body to play a part. I'm not this body.
Yeah, that's
So
a
that's what-
wonderful, sister.
Yeah.
Being a trustee is a real life. Just once you're being a trustee, you're automatically detached from everything. So this is a good I'm taking from you.
And the inner separation from the inner thing, because
Yes, inner
everything,
stories.
bondage, burden, blockage, everything is in the mind.
Yeah, that's
So
a good
stepping
example
back-
you gave. The mind is, we just take as mind as a screen, and all the movies plays on the screen. I'm in the part of the movie, but screen is untouched by the movie. whatever the colors comes on the screen, but I am untouched. So this is, I'm taking, is a wonderful, beautiful, you shared and gave the example. The same question goes to you,
I
sister.
forgot what I was gonna say. You mentioned the word servant and server. So,
You want me to repeat the question?
no, it's all right.
Okay.
We are agents of God. I made that choice. I'm a servant. So here's the secret, and it was in a reading I did this morning also. This is such a coincidence. We're used to that, right? If I am in relationship with someone, I'm going to bring it right down to us in day-to-day living. If I'm in relationship with someone and they are misbehaving or acting in a way that I don't learn here, I have power. I have such inner power if I choose it in that moment to not dance their dance. In doing that, and this is the point for this question, in doing that, in choosing not to fight back, in choosing not to say you're wrong, in choosing say don't speak to me that way, in choosing not to say don't speak to me that way, have respect. Instead of chastising someone, I have the power to sit back and not respond negatively, even be silent, which some people may take as weakness, but I've learned that's great strength. So what happens? I have prevented, drum roll, yeah, I have prevented that person from accruing bad karma and escalating the fight. You see how powerful we can be by just being how we are, true to our true selves. And then it's contagious and nothing escalates. And that's a very, very big plus. And I think that's what my God wants me to do,
That's so wonderful. So just like the thought came.
especially
you
coming
gave-
from a mother like hers.
Yeah, I got the thought, you gave me the thought, and it's kind of like be ocean, because ocean absorb everything. Ocean has a power to accommodate, to merge everything, even though dirty water, garbage, everything, he just bring it within itself and just be who is he, who it is. Just be ocean, welcoming everything but not resist. That is the transformation. Once your resistance is created, there is a fight. Because only one thought comes, I don't want to do this one. Their whole progeny comes, give you 1,000 reasons why you don't want to do it. So just be ocean, accommodate everything. Embrace them, just love them. What if they are come, that they come. They are coming for going, just like a clouds on the sky, they come and goes. But the clouds never touch or scratch or harm the sky. They don't harm the sky. They just come, some they thundering, some they raining, some they lightning, and they just go. They come for going. But the sky is always a sky. That's I am, be a soul, as sister says, only the come to your original, I am a soul.
Yeah, you have to be in soul consciousness. Otherwise, it doesn't work.
Yes.
Because I'm coming from, how am I doing? What's the impact I have? It
All
has to
that
come
I
from that
emerges,
purity.
right? All that
Yes.
I emerges in
That's
that.
right, that's right.
In the soul consciousness, there is no separation. The
Yeah.
I kind of dissolves. That's where all our problem is. We get muddy.
You want to see if anyone has questions so far?
Yeah, I have one more question.
No, I meant the audience. We're putting a lot
Yeah,
on.
oh,
Get the
anyone?
mic.
Yeah, anyone have question?
Yes, there is. Do you have a mic?
Oh, okay.
You had a question before. Is that okay? I think you do.
Yeah, sure.
We have to end in that. Right?
Sorry.
Sister.
First of all, this talk is really helping me to decide and to decide, figure out all my dots, you know, how to connect them. However, a lot of our on taking the knot off, doesn't it depend on the players in the family? Or no?
It's your choice.
You do you.
Okay, let's say this is hypothetical. Let's say, okay, I want to be peaceful. I want to be soulful. I don't want to be washing dishes every day. It's not my situation, but how do you ignore that? How do you ignore that? Because there are other players within this arena. So as if there could be a negative consequence.
You don't play. You listen and you
Mhm.
don't play. You have a choice to not play their game. And they will sense it, they will love you for it, and you're not causing things to escalate. That's your choice. That's your inner power.
One thing I wanted to add to what Sister said is, one thing is that somebody said something, and if we are making their choice, do not respond. The key is, the most other important thing is, from the mouth you may not speak, but that your mind is constantly going. So that is where it's important for that to stop. And for that, you need to have more clarity. And what we practice here is that everybody has a fixed pattern. There's a fixed role which they're playing. It's just like a script that they are reading. If that person is an actor who was supposed to say that, so the shift comes in what that person said made me angry, made me feel bad about myself. So that is something which does not define me. I have to change my perspective, and instead of getting upset at them or upset saying they insulted me or they did, have an attitude of gratitude to say, you showed me something, an anger within me, which I need to work on, and not hold them for that situation, for what they said. So do not play the recording in the mind. So one is whitening your mouth and not
Yes.
retaliating or saying,
Right.
but not having that recording going on in your mind,
That's true.
because you have to put a stop with an understanding. It's a part they had to play. And I'm grateful for showing me what dirt came wrong within me that I need to clean. I cannot hold anybody responsible. They were supposed to do that way. And what happened to me was accurate. And I know this is not easy. So, but it's,
And you don't learn this overnight. you
yeah.
know.
So it's
I know the Rome was not built
Take the
overnight,
course,
so I
right.
know. And you're a
Yeah.
teacher, so
Yeah.
that's one.
But you see, I've programmed myself not to react. I would say 19 times out of 20, maybe even more. I don't react in the moment because I've been programmed to know that's lethal. So what I do is
time.
I respond. You know, everyone's different. I've been working, I'm a little older than you. I've been working a long time, even before here. But I get in trouble if I react and blurt. I was a blurter. I can still now and then, but mostly not.
Should be taught in schools.
Yes.
You know, this
This
way of thinking.
living.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
not when
That's
you're
true.
50, you know,
Yeah.
it's much harder to change when you are.
But nothing
when you're
is older
50.
than
That's why
that.
people come here every week because
Yeah.
they're learning to
Fortunately.
empower, inner power.
Yeah,
And whenever it comes to you, that is the right time.
That's right.
yes.
So feel very blessed that whatever is coming, you are ready
Right.
to
Yeah.
take it.
Yeah.
So that's the time.
Okay. So in essence is they are your blessing. Doesn't matter, there is a no negative or positive. Whoever says something, you take as blessing because they show you inner world.
Yeah, that you
Yeah,
need.
that
you
is
need
the
to, that
essence.
we need.
Oh, she
So
has a
it's a different
question.
way of thinking.
So.
Yeah, she has a question.
While you pass, quick example, this morning. I had someone who wanted to call me and discuss and fight about disagreement, not fight. And what I did was, I said, I can't talk right now. I could have, but I chose not to. And the person had called By the time we spoke, much later, hours later, I got an apology. Silence is a gift.
Yes, sis.
Time is a gift. Don't play with them.
It's not
That's
working.
detachment. Press the green. Yes, it is. Hold it up.
Thank you.
You got it. Thank you, Elizabeth.
Oh, thank you for this wonderful evening. So much knowledge, so much wisdom. Wonderful to hear it expressed in each unique way. Wonderful to have the inquiry, the willingness to receive and consider and begin or continue the journey, myself as well. Some of you know I only hear half of whatever's spoken, so that's all. That's okay. For today, that's good enough. I would add, in my own voice, my own way, considering freedom, what a big question. One thought that arose was, freedom from wanting the world to be the way I think it should be. I like that. I'm going to repeat it. Freedom from wanting the world to be the way I think it should be. So that means, freedom from wanting you to say what I think you should say, the way I think you should say it, when I think you should say it, and all that, which would result in accepting what arises and responding, how do you like this, with so what? So what? When it's not to my liking, letting it go. What's next? Realizing it will pass. It's really very brief. It's a brief moment. And whatever habitual and conditioned and karmic thoughts arise, whatever story initially arises, I am not those thoughts. I am not that story. Something that I came across that I liked a lot in terms of being present and being here now is, so I wish to be here now, not to be here then. I love that. Not to be here then, or if you will, to play with that, not to be there then, if I'm here with you. And to remember just different words, what has been shared. I am the one witnessing. I am the one witnessing. I'm witnessing my own thoughts. I'm witnessing what you're offering. I'm witnessing whatever's going on. I'm not my thought. I'm not my thought. I'm not my feeling. And I would offer the following phrasing in addition, I am peace, but also, anger is arising, not I am angry. Anger is arising. I'm not anger. I'm peace. I'm unlimited potential, if you will. Anger is arising, or jealousy is arising, or whatever's arising. Resistance is arising. I cannot hear you. That's a gift. That's my gift. I don't get.
That's wonderful, sister.
any
You
of the-
summarize everything. That's so wonderful. Thank you.
So, yeah,
She needs a mic. if
so
she can-
when that is coming, it is a passing experience. It's not you.
Right.
So if your anger is coming, so we say, I am angry. Anger is an experience, which is a passing experience. Happiness is a passing experience.
Doesn't
It's
last.
not it doesn't last, just like the storms don't last. So it's saying these emotions are not me. So I am remains constant. Like Sister was saying, the sky is there and those passing clouds are there. Those passing clouds are those experiences of sorrow, ups and downs, and happiness, anger, irritation. But the sky is the same. So the peace and the love, the happiness, which is in the background, always there. What is changing is what comes in front of us, but goes on within us.
Good comment.
So those are the experiences.
How many of us, you don't have to raise your hand, but how many of us hate when we sound like our mothers? Have you had that experience if you have children? So the opportunity I have now, even though my kids are grown and have their own kids, the opportunity I have now is to choose not to sound like my mother, but then I'm modeling what a better parent is by not joining in the game and the whatever's going on as you're cooking dinner, let's say. just don't play. But that becomes as contagious as your bad habits will be, because someday your daughters will say, I sound like my mother. No, you can stop the syndrome. That's what I learned. Yeah.
At the end of the day,
Getting
you
late.
have to feel the freedom.
Yeah.
There is no time, any other time than now.
So now
Have
take
that
a few
freedom.
moments, sit in silence and comfortable. Let the experience what brings freedom and transformation for you and how you will use in your life tomorrow. Not now, so not tomorrow, just now. So just sit comfortably. Put it away everything. Just step inside. Forget you are not body. You are not pain. You are not mother. You are not female or male. You are just light, pure energy. I am untouched by all the noises which appears in the mind, like ocean. So many waves dancing, making noises. Some are big, some are small. They come on the surface. But the more you go deeper and deeper, the water is still and silence. So now you go deeper. See yourself. You are still. The waves are moving, but they're not touching my stillness. Because I'm not moving. I am silent being in the bottom of the ocean, like just being at this moment. This is my moment. Experience it. I am not clouds. I am not voices. They are just vibration appears on the mind in the form of thoughts, which labeling each thoughts, this is jealousy, this is conflict, this is like or dislike. I am none of them. My true nature is love. I am ocean of love. I am ocean of peace. These thoughts not refer to my identity because I am beyond all of limitations. I am unlimited being, light. Light has a solidity. just light. Hold with this awareness, being a light, being a stillness, all the clouds dispersed and disappear. This is truly I am. When you come back from bottom to the surface, now come back with this awareness. I am still and silent being. And share your love and vibration to the world with this awareness. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. Thank you. Oh yeah. Tomorrow we have a Peace in the Park, Central Park, Manhattan. So you all are invited. So if you want to come, please come.
I did that,
Yes. And then next 7th, right?
I believe,
Yeah, 7th. Yes, August 7th.
not sure. The Rocky for the public? Is it on a Thursday night? Brother Eric, do you know?
So
You think so? Okay, if you're on an email list, if you're not, you can sign up tonight and you will get an email about Rocky, tying of the Rocky.
The Raksha Bandhan is a symbolize of the purity. It's symbolize of the pure relationship with God. So that's why we celebrate the Raksha Bandhan Rakhi. And so we are keeping on this Rakhi.
That's the original meaning.
Originally, but a spiritually point of view is soul to soul. It's just like we are tying the Rakhi with God. We
The
want,
unity.
yes, we make a promise to the God. So that's how we are celebrating on Thursday, 7th, August 7th.
August 7th.